She didn't even look at me when she said it. Didn't blink, didn't breathe. Just tossed the promotion letter onto the table like it was a declaration of independence. From now on, she said, sliding her new work badge between us like a blade. We'll have separate accounts. I'm done carrying you. Carrying me? Funny considering she spent the last 5 years climbing a ladder I built. I didn't argue, didn't flinch. Didn't let her see the quiet click inside me, the one that locked a door she'd never reopen. I just nodded once. Of course, I said, already knowing she'd soon regret it. Our home had always been noisy with her demands, her family's expectations, her mother's judging eyes, her father's passive disapproval. But that evening, the silence was different. It was heavier, thicker, like the house itself was holding its breath. She strutted around with a new superiority. Shoulders squared, chin high, eyes condescending in a way she never dared before. It was the smell of fresh arrogance. Sharp, cheap. She didn't notice I'd stopped reaching for her, stopped fixing things before anyone saw, stopped protecting her from consequences she created. Didn't notice the stillness in me. People never do. Not until it's too late. The next day, she made sure the humiliation wasn't private. At dinner with her parents, she announced loudly, too loudly, that she'd finally convinced me to stop draining her financially. Her mother laughed. Her father smirked. She basked in it. I watched the scene unfold with the same calm a surgeon has before the first incision. It wasn't the insult that broke me. It was the look she gave me afterward. Triumphant, superior, dismissing like I'd become optional. That's when the emotional thread between us snapped silently, cleanly. And once I stopped caring, I'd become someone else entirely. That night, she went to bed smiling at her phone, probably telling her friends how she'd put me in my place. I stayed. In the kitchen, my hands around a glass of water that I never drank. Not out of shock, but choice. I replayed everything, every sacrifice, every bill I paid, every connection I used to help her get where she was. All the debts she pretended not to owe. She thought she'd cut me off, but she didn't know how intertwined her life was with mine financially, legally, socially. She didn't know how much I'd managed, organized, filed, and built. And she never once asked what would happen if I stopped. People never ask until the floor disappears under them. The first thing I did was nothing at all. No reminders, no morning coffee, no fixing her mistakes at work, no smoothing over her impulsive spending, no saving her from her parents' judgment. Withdrawal is powerful. People crumble when the support they mocked suddenly vanishes. I kept paying my half of the bills neatly on time, just my half. She didn't adjust. She didn't think she needed to. She had her promotion, her independence, her shiny new ego, so she kept spending like we still shared everything. Credit cards, subscriptions, her mother's demands, endless lunches, luxury things that looked good on social media. And then came the slow unraveling. Step 1, the credit slip. She called the bank screaming when her card was declined. I listened from the hallway. She hadn't realized how fast her money evaporated when it wasn't secretly supported by our money. Step 2, the work fallout. I stopped covering her mistakes in the system I built for her department, stopped drafting reports for her, stopped reminding her of deadlines. Her new boss emailed her privately, then publicly, then angrily. I saw her crying in the bathroom at 2 a.m. I didn't go. In Step 3, the family pressure. Her mother demanded money for a small emergency. A small emergency that turned out to be 5 months of her brother's unpaid bills. My wife tried to send it anyway because her family's needs always outranked mine. The transfer failed. She panicked. And for the first time, she looked at me with something unfamiliar, dependence, but I wasn't hers to lean on anymore. Step 4, the Sunday lunch. This was the masterpiece. My in-laws arrived full of judgment and noise, roasting me before they even removed their shoes. My wife tried to pretend everything was fine. She always relied on appearances. But I had already moved all my groceries to the lower fridge drawer, leaving the shelves empty where she used to place her parents' favorite dishes. I knew she hadn't shopped. She'd forgotten. Too busy drowning. When her mother walked into the kitchen and opened the main fridge, she screamed loud, shrill, echoing. There was nothing. Not a bottle, not a vegetable, not even leftovers. Just metal shelves and a single note taped to the center. Separate accounts, separate responsibilities. Her scream was so loud the neighbors ran outside thinking someone had died. In a way, something had. She burst into the living room, eyes wild, face red, her family behind her like an angry mob. What is the meaning of this? I remained seated, calm, unmoved, free. You wanted separate lives, I said quietly. I'm just honoring what you asked for. Her mother attacked me with accusations. Her father said I'd embarrassed them deliberately. I let their words fall to the floor. My wife, trembling, tried one last line. You're supposed to support me. I looked at her the way she had looked at me when she called me a leech. No, I said. I supported you for years. Now I'm just letting you experience life at your own altitude. Silence. Cold, real, undeniable. They left without lunch, without excuses, without the arrogance they walked in with. That night, she sat on the edge of the bed, hollowed out. Why did you do this? She whispered. I didn't turn toward her. I didn't do anything, I said. You did. I just stopped protecting you from the consequences. She didn't reply. She didn't have to. She finally understood respect isn't requested. It's required. And when it's denied, revenge becomes nothing more than the natural balance of things. I switched off the lamp. Good night, I said.